Oh. Now over there is a lovely standing dead spruce that we would like to cut for firewood. But there's no good trail to it yet. You can see we have a little bit of a Snowmachine loop here that's pretty good. But I don't trust myself snowmachining right up to the front of it because there could be a lot of stumps in the way. There could be adverse snow conditions that I'm not aware of. So I brought some snowshoes. First thing I'm going to do is break Snowshoe Trail to it. And then once I've made a nice Snowshoe Trail loop, I'm going to drive it with the Snowmachine a couple of times and get it really nicely packed down so that we can haul that firewood out of here. Here we are, much closer to the tree that I want to get. You'll see right here, you see this series of sticks coming up. Clearly we have a submerged log right there. And so I'm glad that I'm snowshoeing this instead of just trying to snow machine it, because I don't know how deep the snow is on top of that log. I don't know if there's other problematic sticks that are just barely below the snow that could cause some problems with my treads. So I am going to go pioneer a route through there on the snowshoes, make sure that that's going to be safe passage over the log. And you can see the snow machine is back there, and this is where I've come so far. So here we are at the prize tree, this standing dead spruce. That's the one that we want to get for firewood, but you know, once we get back in here, we see there's a lot of other good standing dead in the area. There's a bunch down there. There's a few more out that way, and even this little thing that I'm standing next to is not super tall. But if you look over this way, though, there's not really a good route to get the snow machine back in here without hitting all kinds of stumps. So that loop that I packed just through that clearing is going to be about as close as we can get the snow machine, unless I find another clearing. So what we're trying to do is have the shortest distance between where the wood is and where the snow machine is, just so we can get the most out of the tool that we'll be using. Well, I've finished snowshoeing it a few times, and I finished snow machining it twice. So I'm going to take you on the ride. You might notice there's some snowshoe trails that I didn't use. That's part of the pathfinding process. And there's a couple of tight squeezes between little mini stumps and things, but it's going to be some bumpy camera work because sometimes I'm going to need two hands to steer, so please forgive anything like that. Here we go. Here we are back at the snowshoes. So that's the process that we use for creating and maintaining our woodcutting trails. I don't know what else to say, but happy wood hunting. Sometimes it might seem like these trails are on very thin snow, but the fact is that the snow is just a pretty good condition right now. But if you find a loose spot, like where there's a bunch of grass underneath the snow or certain kinds of plants, you'll find it's easy to break through and there's not a lot of support underneath. So I wanted to show you what it looks like when a moose tries to walk on these packed snow machine trails. They're breaking through, 12, 18 inches down. And you don't want to get your snow machine stuck in a hole like that when there's kind of powdery type snow underneath here, you'll never get enough traction to get out. So it's pretty important to pay attention to the conditions and to snowshoe it first several times. Snowshoe it like kind of one on top of each other, but kind of overlap them so the trail gets wider each time. And then you'll find any potential hazards that you don't want a snow machine over. It's important to keep your trails in good shape. In this case, that means we've got enough time for this day, Wood Trail Day, to also be Family Sledding Day. And, okay. So that's where we cut it, and it actually fell perfectly right towards the trail where the snow machine is. We actually used a rope to encourage it to fall that direction. I don't recommend doing that with a tree this size if you've never had experience with that, but it fell perfectly where we wanted. So we're kind of starting to cut the pieces up now, but it is some beautiful wood. And here I am without a snowshoe, just sunk up to my knee because it's about waist deep snow here around the trunk of this tree. Just put another round in the sled. Got a bunch more back there to put in, but if you look at where the tree fell, goes up towards the trail there, where you see I've been stacking these other rounds. As I'm pulling this, and you can see that the tree fell, and the tip of it ended up only about 4 feet from the snow machine trail, which is about as good as we could have asked for. So I'm about to take this last round up to the trail that we just made the other day. My wife's coming back with the snow machine right now. There she is. You can probably see the headlight coming. Starting to snow a bit, but that's okay. You know, we've been taking turns trading off. I took a few loads on snow machine. She's taken a few loads on snow machine, and the whole process is going to take a couple of hours, really, when it's all said and done. But because of the location of this tree, and it slopes down the hill back there, and all the trees that we've cut down in this area have tended to want to fall downhill. But if you look downhill, it's just a maze of stumps and things, and it would have been really quite a pain to get it out of there. So we really did want to follow it that direction. So it was kind of necessary to use our rope. Yeah, I'll be there in a second, so just don't be afraid to work as a team. Now we're taking turns, and she needs my help putting some of these rounds in the sled because they're so freaking heavy. Normally we can fit several pieces in a sled, but this piece here is so big that it just is the only load for this one. So yeah, if you look back in there, you'll see the stump kind of behind that short spruce there, and you can kind of see the path that it fell and where it lay and how it just kind of ended up right here next to our handy little snow machine loop trail. We just have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections left to take back up to the house. But yeah.